Just as a quick follow-up, I don't know what happened. I was getting about 300 milliamps, about a third of an amp through this coil before, and while the current was flowing, it wasn't making any noise, and it should have been making a clicking sound showing that it was operational. It wasn't operational, and the vacuum was passing right through. But now, so I take it out, you know, to mess with it. I screw around this B plus connector, which is this green one. I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe I have a feeling it might be just a little bit of a resistance in this current, just wasn't flowing quite enough. But the current hasn't changed. It's still about the same 0.3 amps. If this had gone up a lot, I would say, okay, that's what happened. I got a better connection here. But it's still the same amount of current. But anyway, when I bypassed the, you know what I didn't do? Now let's see here. Watch this. Now listen. So you can hear that operation, and that does cut off the vacuum. I've already confirmed that. Now, I wonder if we have a wiring harness problem. Let me do this. Let me plug this in. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we will ground out. All I've done is plug that in. So now we have the resistance of these bullet connectors. Let's see if it still works when I ground out the... Yeah. So, assuming that water switch works as it's supposed to, which has to be now for this to make any sense, the water switch must have continuity when it's cold and open up when it gets warm, which is kind of the reverse of what you'd expect, like if it was a fan switch. It's sort of the opposite of that. So when it's cold, it has to have continuity, which closes off this valve. I've already confirmed that with the vacuum. And then as the engine temperature warms up, this valve opens and lets the vacuum control the servo to open up the EGR. So I don't know why, but all of a sudden this thing's working now. I have a bad feeling, just something to do with resistance inside these bullet connectors, some of that green goo, as everybody will aware of. I need to get some of my contact cleaner and really scrape these clean, and hopefully the wire itself hasn't corroded up inside here. I mean, I can always put new bullet connectors on, I suppose, but you know, that may be what it comes to. That's one of the pitfalls of having an old car. These are the kind of issues you have to deal with. But anyway, that solenoid is definitely working now, so that's one less thing I have to worry about. But that valve certainly is wide open, because if it was cold as it is now, you should hear it. I mean, it's when I hook it up, the valve doesn't close back down like it should. That, in other words, when I hook this back up, this lead right here, and I'll do it. Here's the other side of that lead going to that switch, so we should hear it. Let me put this down for a second. Hold on, let's hear it. Nothing. No, the resistance is way too high there. That's definitely not going to ground. I confirmed that earlier because I didn't get any continuity between that. So this thing's stone cold, so that switch is not doing anything when it's cold. It should be shorted to ground right now in order to turn that valve, to shut that valve, to close it so the EGR doesn't come on. Because that EGR comes on when it's cold, it'll kill the car. Anyway, more later. Still working it out.